G'day Whovians and welcome back to Who Review. A brand new series of Doctor Who means a brand new series of Who Review. And Doctor Who Flux kicked off with an insane first episode. There's a lot to discuss, let's jump into the episode review. I honestly don't even know where to begin with this story. I think first off I'll say that I did enjoy this story, it was quite good. I won't go as far as saying it was my favourite series opener of the Chibnall era so far. I think out of The Woman Who Fell to Earth, the Spyfall two-parter and this story, I think this is probably my least favourite. Nevertheless, still a really great story and I did enjoy it. The episode kicked off with the Doctor and Yaz captured by Carvanista, and this was a really intense way to start the episode. I really enjoyed that. I also liked with this start to the episode, it kind of went straight into the story that was being set up for Doctor Who Flux, and I also liked that it kind of wasted no time. You know, this is a serious threat, and it was like no time being wasted with letting us know that, you know, everyone is in danger. But the action-packed intro to this opening story, I really enjoyed. I thought this was a great way to start the episode. I'm wasting no time, I'm jumping straight to John Bishop, and I really liked Dan. I know it's just episode 1, but from this very first episode, I love this companion. I've seen John Bishop a lot in his comedy specials and on the Graham Norton show, but I'd never seen John act. So I was very nervous as to how he would go as a companion in Doctor Who. But literally within the first 5 minutes of seeing him in this episode, I was convinced. Not gonna lie, John Bishop is a pretty good actor. It really feels like Dan is there for the comic relief throughout this series, and normally I'll kind of be like,
yeah, no thanks, you know, I want a little bit more seriousness.
But I honestly didn't mind the comic relief that John gave off. He gave off those kind of like clumsy comedy vibes in this story, and it worked really well. As I said, this episode kind of jumped straight into the story. We went from Liverpool in the 1800s, Liverpool to, you know, current day, to the Arctic Circle. This was a very globe-trotting episode, and the amount of action in this episode I really loved. Normally I like a good bit of slow storytelling with Doctor Who mixed with a bit of action, but the action in this episode worked really well. Jump into the scene of the Doctor and Yaz in Dan Street now. We meet a character called Claire. Who is Claire? I'm not going to go into my theories, I'm going to do that in a separate video that's going to come out this Friday, but this confused me a lot. To be fair, it probably confused everybody, but it was making me mad. And the thing is that Claire knew about the Weeping Angel. She knew what to do. She knew that if you blink, you know, they're going to move toward you. Like, I have got a few theories, but as I said, I'm going to do that in this Friday's video. So check that out on my channel this Friday. But still, this character obviously is someone important, but who is it? I like that in this episode it was mentioned very briefly that the Doctor and Yaz have been on adventures together. The Doctor's kind of shown her different worlds, just the two of them, and you know, I like that we got I wouldn't call it a backstory, more that we kind of got to hear a little bit about their adventures together. Also, something I realised is that Yaz introduced herself to Dan as formerly a police officer. So does that mean that we're not going to ever see Yaz doing that again? If so, that really disappoints me, to be honest. One thing in this story as well that was pointed out is that the TARDIS, something's wrong with the TARDIS. There were issues with the TARDIS in this story in terms of something's wrong with the TARDIS. So in the first kind of moment where we figured, you know, something's not right, there was some liquid dripping from the crystals, and then we had the doors appearing in different points of the TARDIS at the opposite end and then on the floor. So something's clearly wrong. So let's jump into Carvanista. The Doctor was hunting down Carvanista to get information about the division. But what is the division? Again, I'm not going to reveal my theories, I'm going to do that in this Friday's video. But that's a new mystery. And we also found out that Carvanista wasn't abducting Dan, he was actually trying to save him. Save him from what? The Flux. I'm very surprised that in the first story we found out exactly what the Flux was. Unless there's, I mean obviously there's more to it, but the Flux is a hurricane that is destroying worlds. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit disappointed by, you know, what the Flux is. That's what the Flux is. You know, I was expecting something a bit more, I don't know, not threatening, but yeah, the Flux is a hurricane. Like, really? But it is a very threatening thing. We saw the Flux in action. It was destroying worlds, destroying civilizations, and, you know, yeah, the Flux is ripping through the universe, tearing apart planets, which I like that Christian really tried to make this threatening, but it's a hurricane. Yes, hurricanes are damaging and huge and scary, but like, yeah, I don't know, I just don't like that that's what the Flux is. I'm trying not to let it annoy me that much because I know there's more to it. There's more to it. One thing I didn't like in this story was that the Doctor used her sonic screwdriver way too much. Like, I get the sonic screwdriver can do a lot of really cool things and can, you know, help the Doctor a lot, but not just in this episode, but in the 13th Doctor's whole era, she uses her sonic too much, and it just, I don't know, it annoys me. The sonic screwdriver is like an easy way out of a problem. One of the big highlights for me in this story was the Sontarans. I literally cheered when the Sontarans came on my screen. Like, I love the Sontarans. They are just such a cool Doctor Who alien. And I loved the look of these new Sontarans. It really reminded me of classic Doctor Who. And I've mentioned this on my channel before, but I think they look really, really awesome. And say what you want about Chris Chibnall's writing, but every classic Doctor Who monster that he has brought back, the Daleks, the Cybermen, the Sontarans, he has made them awesome. And I think he's going to do the exact same thing with the Sontarans. My only issue is that we didn't see enough of them. But that's okay, because episode 2 is literally called The War of the Sontarans. Let's have a chat now about these skeleton creatures. I can't remember if the species name was mentioned. If it was, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to do a rewatch and pay a bit more, like, I paid attention of course, but I'm going to do a rewatch to take it all in. So if you know what the name is, let me know in the comments. But for now, in this review, I'm just going to refer to them as the skeleton creatures. So the skeleton creatures, we first met the kind of leader. He was in a sort of cell and he broke out and basically rebuilt his body using the person that he killed. And I liked that. Like, this is a threat. And he looks really cool as well. They look like really cool monsters. But from the get-go, we, you know, were immediately shown these guys mean business. They are going to be a huge threat this series. And that's good. That means it's going to be a huge challenge for the Doctor, and I think that will be really cool. Also, the woman at the Arctic Circle, I was very confused by this storyline until it was revealed that she is actually one of those skeleton creatures, the sister of the leader in disguise. But why was she at the Arctic Circle? Another question added to the list in this episode. But when the Doctor was facing off with this skeleton creature, I got really kind of master vibes in this scene. The skeleton leader knows the Doctor. He has faced off with the Doctor before, but the Doctor doesn't know him. So is he from the Doctor's future? Either way, the scene when the Doctor was kind of facing off with him, I thought that was really, really cool. But it's obvious that these creatures are the big baddies of Doctor Who Flux. They are going to appear probably in every episode, but they're going to be the story arc this series. Now the cliffhanger.
Oh boy.
This was a damn good cliffhanger. I enjoyed the episode, not one of my favourites, but this cliffhanger was incredible. And while the cliffhanger was really, really cool and a really, really good cliffhanger, I'm not gonna lie, I'm so confused. Now the Weeping Angels. Whew, that was a cool little reveal. Obviously I knew that the Weeping Angels were going to be in this series, but I didn't know they were going to be in episode 1. I love the Weeping Angels, and I think that the scene with Claire where the Weeping Angel was going for her was a really, really good scene. It was really, really intense. But why are they on Earth? Like, why are they here? With this first episode, we got a lot of questions. A lot of questions. What are those skeleton creatures? What exactly is the Flux? Who is Claire? Why are these skeleton creatures attacking Diane? How do those skeleton creatures know the Doctor? What's going on with Liverpool in the 1800s? And why are the Weeping Angels on Earth? Like, what does this story have to do with them? Oh, and I almost forgot to talk about Vinder. So we met Vinder, played by Jacob Anderson, in this episode, and I wasn't expecting to meet him in the very first episode, but we did, and that's not a bad thing, that's a good thing, although he was pretty useless in this episode. But I am excited to discover more about this character and hopefully get to see him team up with the Doctor. So my rating for Doctor Who Flux Chapter 1, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. A really enjoyable first story, and I can't wait to see what's next. This episode set up a lot of questions that will hopefully be answered throughout the series, and I honestly can't wait. But what did you think about Chapter 1 of Doctor Who Flux? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm very excited for episode 2. It is called The War of the Sontarans and it looks amazing. Here's a little snippet.
Please tell me you're not about to engage Sontarans in battle.
Mrs. Sequel to you.
I accept your offer of a massacre.
Tune in on Friday for my video where I'm going to break down the questions that we got in Chapter 1 of Doctor Who Flux. I already have a lot of theories and I can't wait to hear what your theories are.
Hello, this is Sylvester McCoy here, Doctor Who number 7. I want to say, Whovians, don't forget to subscribe to Whovian Comely. There's a new video every week. And you don't have to be comely to watch it. You can be uncomely too.
Thanks for watching this week's brand new video, Whovians. And as the Doctor just said, subscribe. There is a brand new video every single Friday. And if you did enjoy this one, make sure you give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys next week.